Well, hello everyone. It's good to see you. Well, I can't see you, but I can see you're here. So, I have a presentation for you. Let me find it. Give me a second. And okay, that's it. Let me put it on present. That's it. So, welcome back. This is day two. I'm so excited for day two. Let's see what we're going to go through. So, yesterday was about nutrition, gut health, but always from a mind, body, soul perspective. And today is focused on mind body practices. We're going to go through the gut brain connection that I know a lot of you are familiar with, but really understanding how that implements in your life, how that shows up in your life, because I know that this is a 2-day free training. You get a lot of information, but the goal of everything that I share or that you hear from someone else can be is always for you to implement. Always think about how you can implement the information that you you hear. This is how I go about it whenever I read something. How can I implement it in my life? How does that show up in my life? And the same goes with any webinar that I go to. So ask yourself, how can I implement how the information that we'll share shows up in my life, and how can I implement the tools that I'm hearing? So before we start, so we're going to go into the gut-brain connection. Forget about stress management that I don't believe in, and I'm going to tell you what to do instead and what I implement in my life and implement with my clients to release stress, anxiety, doubt, and worry. We're gonna do a powerful exercise. Even if you listen to the recording, just do it because it's really, really powerful. And so, to reframe the narrative that doesn't serve us, it means that to listen to yourself on a deeper level, to understand that you have that narrative and how to rewire it to an empowering story that serves you and gets you faster to where you want to go. Plus, we're going to do 3 super efficient techniques to reduce stress, anxiety, and fear on the spot. This is about moving our bodies a little bit. I promised some music to put some music on, but there is no way to put music on and for you to hear me, for me to hear. So before we start, as we started yesterday, just whatever issue you're dealing with, what's on your mind, something that will happen after the call, just breathe through it. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth, and just forget about it for just an hour. Give yourself permission to enjoy the next hour. If it is an hour, it might be a little less, but this time together, just give yourself permission to just have fun. And there's a surprise, like bonus training that I wanted to give you. It's something that I've implemented in the past couple of months that has skyrocketed my results, like what my desires. And I've been in the personal development arena for the past 4 years. I've had mentors. I'm still in programs because I love it. But these things that I really, really like is about these concepts that have changed my life in the past couple of months more than anything that I've done in the personal development space. So let's talk about ways to release stress, fear, doubt, and worry. So I know that this concept is familiar to a lot of you, the gut-brain connection. What does that really mean? It means that everything that is going on in our body, if we have some gut issues that we saw yesterday, if we have some brain fog, if we have some health issue, it doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be an autoimmune like I have, Crohn's disease. It can be like mild health issue. But whatever is going on in our bodies, here in our gut, and the gut we saw yesterday is not just bloating, gas, diarrhea, but if you get sick pretty often, it's an imbalanced gut. If you have acne, eczema, it's an imbalanced gut. If you have brain fog, if you have other health issues, if you have difficulty losing weight, these are signs of an imbalanced gut. So, whatever's happening in our body and in our gut is going to impact our mood. So, we might be a little bit more irritable. We may be a little bit more anxious. We may be a little bit more sad, depressed. And the other way around works as well. So, when we are stressed at work or when we are arguing with our partner and that gives us anxiety, or we have a presentation at work that really makes us stress out, our gut would feel it too. I used to have a really toxic boss and my gut felt it immediately, like I had diarrhea a lot of the time. So everything that we feel impacts our gut, our body. It doesn't have to be overnight. It can be pretty immediate, to be honest, like the toxic boss and diarrhea. When you're stressed, you have diarrhea. I hear it all the time, or constipation, but it doesn't have to be overnight. But this gut-brain connection, body-brain connection is a real thing. So it might not feel the mood might not impact your health overnight, but I guarantee you it will impact your health at some point. So this is why I mentioned yesterday that we have to work on, yes, our diet, nutrition, but also on this connection because and our mood and what we're feeling all the time. Feeling because our feelings impact our health, our gut. So we have to work on all this at the same time. So I want you to ask yourself to like, how is that gut brain connection really working in your life? And it doesn't have to do with the gut, but have you seen when you're not at your optimal best when it comes to your health? How does that impact your mood? Are you a little bit more angry, irritable, like everything triggers you? And have you also seen the same, the other way around? Like when you're stressed, when you're anxious, like what happens in your gut? What happens in your body? We saw yesterday that your body's sending you signs all the time. Most of us don't listen. So all that I do, why I do this workshop and all everything I do in my containers is to get you to be acquainted or reacquainted to your body, mind, body, soul on a deeper level. But it's asking yourself some questions. So most people, we deal with stress with doing one of these things, meditating, exercising, breath work, yoga, tapping, and they're great. They are great. There's a lot of other things that I could add to this list. They're great. But I talk to so many people that tell me, oh, I love to work out in the morning. I feel so energized. Or I love to meditate in the morning. I feel so grounded. But there's 15 hours in the day where I have to power through with my job, with my kids, and my gut feels it. Like I have gut issues, like I have some pain, or I have diarrhea, or like my heart is constricted. Your body's sending you signs all the time. So they feel it in their body. There's physical things that they experience in their bodies. So the problem is not yoga or meditation or deep breathing at all. It's that you may be focusing on managing stress instead of having a strategy to reduce it. And you may ask, like, what is the difference between managing and reducing? Like, I've read so many articles, like it's all about stress management. And I'm going to tell you, first of all, why I don't believe in managing stress. I don't even know what that means. One of my mentors, I think it was Earl Nightingale or Bob Proctor, I don't remember, but he used to say that there's no such thing as time management. And how many of us have heard the term you need to manage your time? Because he says that we all have the same time in a day. So you can't manage time, but you can't manage the activities that you do during that time, the activities that you want to focus on during that time. And the same goes with stress. I don't even know what managing stress means. It's about releasing stress, reducing anxiety, fear, worry. So when we focus on managing stress and anxiety, is maybe having this working out, meditating, but at very specific times of the day. So in the morning or at night or both, right? But during the day, where you have your day to day and you're stressed with your day to day, you have meetings, you have presentations that you have to do. And if you don't have a strategy, then your body will feel it. Might not be overnight, but you feel stressed. Like it's something that you feel right away. Like your heart is constricted. Sometimes your gut feels it too. You have to go to the bathroom. You feel it. Having a strategy to reduce stress, anxiety, worry, doubt, it's doing what you're doing at the specific times of day, working out, meditating, praying, deep breathing, whatever you're doing, but also having tools in your toolkit to when you're having a meeting that stresses you out, oh, I realize that I am stressing out. I have a little bit of fear. I have a little bit of pit in my stomach. What can you do? Like, okay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick and just like 30 seconds of deep breathing or a minute of deep breathing. And I'm going to go in with an intention to release, to just shift that stress. Same goes with, having a presentation that you're stressed about, or your day to day, or you receive an email that is just giving you anxiety, or you look at your bank account and you're like, oh my God, I can't. Having strategies to reduce that fear, worry, doubt. So that's the most impactful way to get to your optimal health, mind, body, and soul. When we focus on just managing stress, which I don't even know what that means, it's like maybe having that specific things that you do at specific times of day, but you don't have something throughout the day. So I like metaphors. So managing stress is like putting a band-aid on a gunshot wound and hoping it will heal. It will not. So it's really realizing, first of all, how you feel. Like, okay, I feel stressed. I used to, well, I'm not a stressed person. I just never was. But the like 2 years before I was diagnosed with Crohn's, which doctors say that inflammation have been has been building for the past couple of years before you have any symptoms. I remember my friends telling me, but you look so calm, like I want to shake you. And I did feel calm, but my body was giving me signs of high stress. I just didn't know how to listen. And I'm still not someone who has bursts of anger, like very emotional. I'm not. So I have to really pay attention to, okay, what I'm feeling. And sometimes, even if you don't know how you feel, because we live in a society that tells us don't feel, like just power through in your job with your kids, sometimes you feel it. You feel like a pit in your stomach. You feel your heart's moving, like beating faster. You feel like you can't breathe. You feel maybe your palms sweating. These are signs of stress, even if you don't know how you feel. Like me, I don't feel stress, but of course, there's a situation where I'm triggered, where I'm stressed, and we're gonna talk about triggers in the bonus training. I have something great for you. So it's realizing how you feel and then having a strategy to shift it, to release, you know, the fear, the pit in the stomach, the stress, the anxiety. But you have to get to know yourself, connect to yourself a little bit more. How do I feel? And we've heard it, I'm sure everyone has heard that, especially from loved ones. Stress is a part of life. And yes, I'm not talking here about the positive stress, the stress that comes with, moving to a new country, that there's stress, but there's excitement, or getting a new job, there's stress, but there's excitement. I'm talking about the negative aspect of stress and anxiety, the thing that is keeping us stuck, the thing that is moving our body into fight or flight. When we move into fight or flight, our blood goes to our extremities so that we can fight or flight. So when the blood goes to our extremities, it doesn't go to the gut. So when we are in fight or flight, and most of us are in fight or flight without having a tiger chase us, it's the email that we get, it's looking at our bank account, it's the presentation that we have to do. We're always into fight or flight. So it's no wonder that so many people have gut issues, have reproductive issues. When you're in fight or flight, you don't think about sex. So this is the negative part of stress that we're talking about here. And we have been told, I for sure, that you just have to deal with stress. So stress management has become a business worth billions. But what if that's just one big lie that you have to just deal with it? You have to be stressed. Some people even say, I talk to, they say, I'm stressed. Like it's their identity. No, you weren't born stressed. What if the only reason that you believe that you are stressed as an identity, or you feel stressed out, you feel worried, you feel doubt, you feel anxiety, is because the wrong reality is running around in your head. Bear with me. The bulk of life's stresses comes from the negative narratives that we feed ourselves. That is, that whatever you believe to be true is true. And to have peace, health, success, you have to change that narrative. I've shared it before when I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease, and then, it was a journey of 7 years until I finally managed to reduce my symptoms. I wanted to heal. That's what I was consciously telling people and myself. And I was trying all these things. Some of the things we talked about yesterday, nutrition, I was working out, like I was exercising. I was doing things to consciously heal. But I couldn't understand why I could spend periods without any symptoms, but then they would always come back. And that's where I started to dig a little deeper. And I realized that they had this narrative like that said, Cleo, you have been sick for so long. Like, don't bother trying diets and exercising. You're always going to be sick. And I realized that that brought a lot of my symptoms back. So this is a picture, not from me, from one of my mentors, but I think it's such a beautiful representation of the mind. There's a lot to unpack. This is the first like introduction to the mind, the conscious and subconscious mind. I go so much deeper in my containers, and it's beautiful to see the transformation of my clients when they really start to understand that and implement it. So you have a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. So the conscious mind is where you think, this is where you can imagine what you want. And the subconscious mind is responsible for 95% of our results. So it's where trauma lie, is where programming that you've had since you were a child come. Let's say that you saw your parents fight because of money, and you subconsciously had this belief that money leads to fights. So subconsciously, you don't want to have money so that you don't fight with your spouse, with your partner. So there's a lot to unpack. This is what I'm saying. It's an introduction. But to really grasp this, I think that visuals are a great tool. So, why am I saying that the subconscious mind is responsible for 95% of your results, of what you see in your reality? Imagine you are at the movie theater and you're watching a movie of your life, basically the reality that is reflecting whatever is being projected by the subconscious mind. So you're watching your reality. You're like, "Oh, I don't have money," or "I don't have a relationship," or "I don't have that. I don't have." That's how it is. Or people watch the news and they're like, "Oh, there's an inflation." So they believe there's an inflation. They're going to see in their reality that everything that they buy, the prices are extremely high. So you're at the movie theater and you're watching your movie, whatever is being projected by your subconscious mind. And this is your subconscious mind. It's the film, the projector. It's playing whatever program it was fed. And is being, the program that is being projected can be changed at any moment. How? By recognizing that a program is playing in the first place. And you are just your conscious mind, you're not thinking, your conscious mind is only responsible for 5% of your results. This is why my symptoms always kept coming back. You're completely lost in the movie. You're forgetting you're even sitting in a room with control over which movie is being played. I'm going to say that again. You're completely lost, forgetting you're even sitting in a movie and watching a movie, forgetting that you have control over which movie is being played. When you're seeing something in your reality, this is the part of like becoming more aware of what's going on in our bodies or the signs our body's sending you all the time. And also realizing, what am I seeing in my reality? Like right now, maybe I'm not seeing money. Why? Like, why is it in my movie? Or I have a toxic boss. Why is it in my movie? Like, why is it in my movie? I can change my movie. Maybe I don't have a relationship. I can change my movie. It doesn't have your reality can be changed by you, not by someone else, only by you. What is reflecting, what you're watching is your reality that is being projected by the subconscious mind, your subconscious mind. And this program, the film that is being projected, can be changed by you. And the question is, how can it be changed? It's This is why I'm saying there's a lot to unpack, but when you realize what's going on, when you can really understand on the spot when your subconscious mind is coming up, like when you have a reality that you don't like, oh, okay, I'm in a movie theater right now and I'm watching my reality that is being projected. It's a fear, it's a trauma that comes up because of something that happened in the past, but I can change it. You just need to have the tools to change it. But, and it's like something that you have to work on every day. Like you're going to the gym, you don't expect to be a bodybuilder in, going to the gym like once or twice a week. No, you have to train pretty regularly and switch techniques and trainings. But the same goes with the mind. It's a muscle. It's a muscle that must be trained. You can change the program that is being projected. I have seen it in my life. I've seen it in my client's life, and it's beautiful when that happens. So, does it mean that you're not going to, or I am not, because I've been in this space for over 4 years. I've been practicing this, what you're seeing, for over 4 years. But does it mean that I don't have trauma or subconscious beliefs? I do. I do. But I've become better, and I still become better at understanding it, realizing when my subconscious trauma and beliefs are coming up, and using some tools. So we all have beliefs that are limiting, that comes from subconscious trauma or things that happened, and you can definitely shift it. It's like an ongoing process. But when you become more aware of that, it's a huge, huge step into the right direction. So do this exercise. I always ask it when I'm doing live workshops, like write down the three biggest what ifs going on in your mind right now. The three biggest what ifs going on in your mind right now. And if people want to put it in the chat, they can, or if you're watching the replay, just do it. And I'm going to share my what I wrote the first time that I did the exercise. Like, oh, what if I don't heal? What if I don't see money in my bank account? What if my partner leaves me? It was a long time ago, but still. And so I always ask when you write this, when you do this exercise, like, how do you feel? How do you feel? It's always fearful, constricted, like I worry. Yeah, because the question was, what are your three biggest what ifs, not what are the three biggest fears? And that's what we do. We catastrophize. We think about the worst case scenario. That's where our mind goes on default. And we have to reframe it. So for each what if that you wrote, I want you to write the opposite, like the opportunity what if. Okay. So what if my partner leaves me is what if we can communicate and we can become closer and have a great relationship like we had at the beginning? What if I can't heal becomes what if I know myself on a get to know myself on such a deep level? What if I get into a program that really teaches me how to clean my diet, how to get to know myself and my body and the signs it sends me, and how, what if what I'm going through right now is preparing me for a health that is so wonderful that I can't even fathom right now? So, for every fearful what if, do the opposite, the opportunity what is. And then ask yourself, how do you feel when you do this switch? And it's always hopeful. It's always happy. Always, yeah, I'll find a way. When you go into the opportunity what if, this positive mental space, steps will be shown. So let's do the bonus. This bonus training that has changed my life well, changed my life. It gives me so much peace of mind. And I have actually seen amazing things happen in my life because of that in just 2 months. So whenever I see a shift in my life, I want to share it with you, give you tools so that you can see it in your life. So Kabbalah, this is the one. Kabbalah. It's not a religion. It it is it's just principles. So whatever you believe in, what religions you are, what if you are religious or not, these are principles that you can apply in your life. So Kabbalah teaches that the main thing is how to transform our lack, our doubts, our pain, our fear, so that we can be more connected to the light of the Creator. And the Creator is whatever you believe in, God, the universe, Buddha, whatever you believe in. So, what are the main concepts? There's a lot of concepts. We have time constraints. We should be here for 5 hours if we wanted to really dig deep. But that's why there's an opportunity to hop on a call with me if you feel called to do so. So, the main concept of Kabbalah is okay, how do I connect with the light of the Creator? And why don't I have this light? There's a universal law of affinity that says that Two things that are similar in energy, vibration will attract each other. And two things that are different in vibration and frequency, they will pull away from each other. So, if we want to attract the light of the creator, and I'll tell you what that is, well, we have to act like one, act like the light. I need to know the attributes of what the light is. The light of the creator is a loving force. It is a sharing force. It is a force of certainty. It is a force that is proactive, not reactive. So I know that these are principles right now that, you might be robotically listening to, but I want to give an example that I heard the other day. So when it comes to the loving force, so let's say that you come home at 8 p.m., you're tired, you just got fired, and you come home, your spouse is sleeping, and your daughter, 5-year-old daughter, is writing with a crayon on the wall, "Happy birthday, Dad. It's your birthday." What do? Most of us are going to be like reactive, like, stop, you know, stop writing on the walls. This is not good. You may snatch the crayons from her hand, and maybe you're going to wake up your spouse, look at what your daughter did, and things like this, and it's always a lose-lose. So, how can we come from a loving place is the question. And I know some of you are going to be like, what is she talking about? It's so difficult. Like, I just got fired and she's writing on the wall. Yes, but there's always a way to connect to the light of the creator. The light of the creator is not reactive, it's not yelling. And I know that life happens, but still, it's not reacting, it's not shouting, and most of us do so with our loved ones. So they're concepts, but it applies in everyday life. And this is the power. I have been doing it. And sometimes I still can't. Sometimes I'm still reactive, but I'm getting better, much better. So, how do we achieve this law of affinity? How do we connect with the light of the creator no matter the circumstances? So, the light of the creator is a proactive force. What does that mean? It means to be the cause of, not the effect of something. The opposite of proactive is reactive. Is like when I engage in reactive behavior, I'm being the effect of something that happened. If I receive an email from, I don't know, my boss that says that I didn't do something when I actually did, being reactive means I want to, I'm going to teach you, like I'm going to say that you're wrong and blah, blah, blah. An email, maybe it's, oh, my partner is like yelling, we're arguing, like he's being a pain, like he's saying some things. Oh, I want to talk him back. Like, how is it possible to say these things to me? The exact definition of reactive behavior is any thought or action which comes from lack or fear in order to receive instant gratification. Oh my God, I fear that I'm never going to find someone. Let me text my ex to have an instant gratification. Or it can be sex, it can be drugs, alcohol, it can be whatever, things that like this that come from lack or fear. Oh my God, I'm afraid that I'll always be alone. Let me drink a little bit. So we always do this thing. Like we all have this reactive behaviors. But knowing that reactive behaviors come from lack or fear in order to receive instant gratification. Lack is the first stage before we become reactive. Let me say that again. Lack is the first stage we feel when before we become reactive. Lack is that feeling you feel when you feel guilt, when you feel fear, insecurity. When you're insecure, what do? React, but because you feel insecure. Shame, worry, anxiety, need for approval, need to be loved, need for acknowledgments. Lack is that feeling you feel when you have a business deal that you've been working on for so long falls through. Lack is the feeling when you find out a good friend of yours is speaking about you behind your back. Lack is that feeling you have when you have the most amazing haircut, the most amazing new style, and nobody acknowledges it. Lack is when things don't go our way. So if the goal of life is to have affinity with the light of the Creator, we will be faced with challenges. And challenges are given to us to give us the free will to feel reactive and then transform reactive behavior, to feel lack and then transform that lack, thereby achieving affinity with the light of the Creator that is loving, it's sharing, it's a force of certainty, it's proactive, not reactive. Before I say that, we go through the next section. I want to share this concept. I never, until I started studying this concept, I knew that life was happening for me, not to me, that everything was happening for me. But really, when I started seeing that every challenge is just put in my way by the loving hand of the Creator to elevate myself to go to the next level. So let's say that you have a lack of money right now. Well, telling, like grasping this and actually saying it's the Creator that gave me that lack so that I can overcome that lack of money, that to heal that lack so that I can have financial abundance. It's all a challenge that is given to us to elevate us to our higher self, to where we're supposed to be, because the Creator wants to give you everything you want and then some. So it really has helped me. Let's say that maybe you're going through a breakup. The Creator gave you that challenge to elevate you, maybe to elevate you to become with the light with the Creator, maybe to transform your current relationship or elevate you to your soulmate, to the person that you're going to marry. So, yeah, you don't get upset as much as you used to be when you understand this concept. The power of feeling the pain and going through the process. So, this is the most important concept of Kabbalah. And if you have to take away something, it's this. Pause, what a pleasure. So let's go to the situation where your good friend is talking. You learned that your good friend is talking behind you about you behind your back. What we all want to do is, be robotically reactive. We give in to our emotions. That's being reactive. Pause, what a pleasure means, okay, pause so that I'm not reactive. And you may say, you may just go for a walk. When I'm arguing with my partner or my parents, I say, sorry, I just have to go to the bathroom real quick. And I practice this pause, like breathe, breathe. And what a pleasure does not relate to, oh, what a pleasure that my best friend was talking about me behind my back. What a pleasure that my partner cheated on me. No, that's not what the pleasure looks like, is about. The what a pleasure is the fact, the concept that the creator, whatever you believe in, gave you that challenge to elevate you. So it doesn't mean that you don't have to confront the person, but here, this pause what a pleasure is for you, is only for you to understand that the challenge was brought by the creator to elevate yourself to that place where you can go to your partner in a loving way, even though they're arguing, but that's still your challenge. How can you show up in a loving way? Remember the attributes of the light, loving, sharing. So pause, what a pleasure. Can literally do that. Go to the bathroom and that say, oh, what a pleasure that I had this challenge of my, partner cheating. It doesn't mean that you're not hurting. It doesn't mean that it's not black. Yes, you are. It's not about false positivism at all. It's all about you pausing so you're not reactive and saying, what a pleasure. And at the beginning, you're not going to believe it. Like, what a pleasure? What do you mean? You can't grasp that concept in your mind. Your mind cannot grasp, but still fake it. Oh, I hate it. I want to be reactive. Pause, what a pleasure. I want to be reactive. Pause, what a pleasure. Take a breath and understand that what a pleasure does not refer to the situation at all. It's for you. The creator gave me that challenge to elevate me to maybe my soulmate, to the person that I'm going to marry, to, if it's your boss that you're arguing with, to a better boss, a better career. Pause, what a pleasure. And there's the power of embracing your pain. Because, yes, your best friend talking about you behind your back, there's hurt, there's betrayal. My partner cheating on me is devastating. And I want to feel it. Pause, what a pleasure. I want to feel it. So, pause, what a pleasure means that I embrace it. I accept that this is what happened. And I want to speed up my blessings, but in a way that is proper. It's difficult at the beginning when you haven't grasped that process. Pause, what a pleasure. When you're triggered by anything, ask yourself, first of all, why is it in my movie? And pause, what a pleasure that I'm triggered, that I have the opportunity to get to know myself better, to elevate myself, to be more like the light of the creator, loving, sharing. Sit with the pain. Don't numb it. I used to be the queen of numbing, but what they say is true. Sitting with the pain makes it go away faster. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do something like confront your best friend, confront your boyfriend, whatever. But here, right now, it's about you. pausing, what a pleasure this happened to me. Like this, the creator gave me that challenge to elevate me to my highest potential, to the best version of me. That's all it is, a challenge. So you must first sit with the pain. The ego is going to urge you to react, react, react. Let's say that I just find out that my ex got engaged with somebody else. You feel nauseous, you feel sick to your stomach. Pause. What a pleasure that I'm being triggered right now. Oh, but I want to call, I want to find out. Nope. Pause. What a pleasure that the creator gave me that challenge to elevate me, to find my own soulmate, to find my own partner, husband, spouse, wife. You may feel dark sitting with the pain. You may feel like you want to lay in bed, but the future is very bright because you're expanding your vessel, your consciousness. You are sitting with your pain instead of numbing, instead of, having sex with the first person that you come through. Pain is not restricting you, it's expanding you. This is why we say sit with the pain. Embracing the process of sitting with the pain, pause, what a pleasure. Like it's a process, shortens the process, it speeds up your blessings, everything you want. The creator wants to give you everything. And the last concept that I want to share with you is certainty beyond logic. All the pain and suffering that we go through in our life is the result of one way or another of doubt, doubting that I will receive what I desire, doubting that I'm good enough to receive what I desire. But doubt, fear, worry is pushing back, meeting extraordinary people, having financial abundance, having optimal health. I've seen it in my life and in my clients' life that before a great energy wants to be revealed in your life, you're going to be put through a challenge. The creator is going to give you a challenge that looks like it's huge, that looks like you're lacking, that looks like you lost something, that looks like it's devastating. But if you can maintain certainty, acceptance, certainty beyond logic, logic is the thing that happened to you, the email, the cheating partner, certainty beyond logic that whatever you want is certain to happen, then you open the door, you build the vessel for miracles in your life. So there was this woman that shared something the other day that said that, oh, she has nephews, and she said that she loves, absolutely adores her nephews. And one day her sisters, she wanted to see her nephew, and she asked her sister, can you bring them in my house, like at my place so that I can see them? And she said, well, actually, we're going to our country house, so we won't be here. And she found out that actually her nephews were at her mom that lives in the city. So her sister lied to her, and she shared her story, and she was so hurt. She was so felt so betrayed. And she was asked, what do you like want? She said, I want to not care that much, not be impacted that much by what my sister is saying, what other people are saying or do. And so she was told, you know what? This is what you wanted. The creator is giving you a challenge so that you can elevate to the person that doesn't really, is not impacted by other people's actions or words. The challenge is your sister lying to you. So you have, by doing this formula, and there's a lot to that formula, is like, oh, what a pleasure. Pause, what a pleasure. This is the only concept that we saw that today. But also, why is it in my movie? But pause, what a pleasure that the creator gave me the opportunity to elevate myself to a place where I'm not impacted by other people's actions that much. That's my challenge, my sister. So, how can you build certainty? It's like, how can I be certain? So, imagine that I tell you, I have a crystal ball right now, and I see, let's say that you want to have your optimal health, like be any issue that you're dealing with, you're not, I can see, like, I have a crystal ball, and I can see that in 2 years, not only are you not going to have this issue anymore, but you're going to be so healthy that you can't fathom right now. It's a certainty. I see it. How would you feel if you knew that it was done? Like that it's a done deal. Like I saw it. That in 2 years, you're going to be a new person health-wise. Like you can't even fathom. How would you feel? Secure? Safe? Happy? This is a certainty. I have recorded on my phone my affirmations of certainty. This is what certainty is beyond logic. You're not healthy right now. You're not optimally healthy right this second, but how would you feel when it's a certain, like I'm telling you, it's a done deal. It's certain that in 2 years, you're going to be a new person health-wise. Okay. So that was the concepts, the main concepts. There's so many more. Hop on a call if you want to learn more. And now we're going to move our bodies a little bit. As I shared, I promised um some music, but there's no way for me to share music and for you to hear what I'm going to say. So we're just not going to put some music on, but when you do this, when I do these exercises, it's put your music, the music that you want to, hey, makes you hop on and dance a little bit. So we're going to move our bodies. It's going to be fun. Well, fun, it would be much more fun if we had some music on, but it's still going to be very impactful. And again, it's the more impactful it is the more you do it. And I love moving the body. I'm a big proponent of moving the body because we're so static all the time. And sometimes you need to build some fire in you to get out of your head and into your body. There's no better way for me. Sometimes, yes, like some people swear by meditation, and meditation, I meditate, but it's still static. It's a tool in your toolkit. And what I'm giving you here, it's another tool in your toolkit. You can do it or not. But I know that the clients that do that can shift their energy and their fears and their worries on the spot. So I'm gonna I'm gonna stop sharing my video for a second so that I move places so that you can see me. Just a second. Okay. So let me stop the share so that you can see me. Okay. So, as I said, we're going to move our bodies. I wish I had um some music, but you can put the music on when you're doing it. I mean, you have to. You have to, you don't have to. Like if you're at work, you can't put your music, but if you're at home, you definitely can, and I highly encourage it. So, the first exercise is, oh, you're seeing my very big Christmas tree. So, the first exercise is really very simple. It's just getting up and just tapping your heels. That's all. Tapping your heels, just the vibration on your body. I mean, that's what we're looking for. Tapping your heels. If that's all you can do, do that. But sometimes it's even better to engage your whole body, like moving your shoulders that like this, as if you had weights on your hands. And maybe you want to hop a little bit, hopping, or maybe it's like moving around a little bit, just taking a little bit more space. But it's always tapping your heels, okay? Tapping your heels because it's this vibration that is very healing. This vibration is actually getting you out of your head much quicker, like overthinking, overstressing. Oh my God, I have a meeting. Oh my God, I'm gonna see this person. Oh no. Okay, let's move the body, put some music on, and I would recommend I did this. I think it's better if you like activate the relaxation response. So not do this shallow breaths, but breathing through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. That's the first one. The second one is shaking. So put a playlist on that, hey, is a little bit more electric. You know, shaking is great. Like it's like, it can be anything, but it's like shaking. And it regulates your nervous system and really releases emotional stagnation. So you can feel your heart constricted. You can feel, let me do this. Sometimes you can feel your heart constricted a little bit, like you feel it. Maybe your body is like this instead of being like this. Well, shake. This is your tool to shake, to put some music on that's a little bit more, I don't know what that means, but electric, so that you can, and you can, if you feel called and you're alone, you can do this little sound that is extremely cathartic, that is, ha, ha, ha. It can be uncomfortable because we're not used to making this sound, but if you feel called, oh, it's so cathartic, it's great. Ha, ha. So that's the second one. It's my favorite one because it really regulates your nervous system when you're anxious. Even before a meeting, you go to the bathroom and you do a little bit. It's great. And the third one is a somatic practice. All these are somatic practice because we move our bodies. And the first two is really allows why I'm a big proponent of moving the body and not just working out. Like I work out, but I do these things kind of on the daily. It's a way to just not think, let your body move the way it intuitively knows how to move, to release what needs to be released, stress, anxiety, fear, grief, to shift what needs to be shifted, to bring energy when you want to bring more energy. And now the third is somatic. It's just doing this. It's called Ki massage, QI massage. So basically, you're doing this on the chest and it releases emotional congestion. We have a lot of tension on our chest, and this releases it. And to have it more efficient and effective, just breathe through your nose, hold for 5, and exhale through your nose. Or your mouth. I just exhale through my mouth. It's great. If you don't have the time, if you don't have the space, if you don't like, not everybody likes to shake. I love it. It's my go-to, but not everybody likes. Then this is for you. I give it to my clients that have shared with me that they're a little bit, they can get angry, they are impatient, and sometimes they snap at their loved ones. This is always what happens when we snap. It's always our loved ones. And I told them to do that exercise every day. Every day, I told them, go to the bathroom when you need to go to the bathroom and stay a little longer and do this. So these are the 3 techniques to move your body. Again, your body knows intuitively how it has to move to release what needs to be released, shifted, you know, brought more onto. So I hope you like it with everything. If there's one that spoke to you, one technique that spoke to you, do that and do it consistently. Try to do it every day. Okay. So, with that said, I am going to share the link to book a call with me on the email when you get that replay. Okay. So, I hope you like the 2-day free training. I absolutely adored spending time with you. And, well, hopefully, I'll see many of you on the call.